Hey there, gym owners. Today's video, I want to explain why opening up your second gym isn't always the best idea. So one of the things that's quite common in the fitness industry, particularly with franchises, is you see fitness business owners open their second gym and their third gym before they're ready. And unfortunately, they go from having like 1,200, 1,600 members in their first gym making some money to having three gyms with 800 members, all kind of, barely making a good income. The thing I sort of I see is that you take on an extra lease, you take on extra wages, you take on extra insurance, you take on extra time and stress in actually doing it. So I just want to make sure for anyone that is at that point where you feel like business is doing pretty well, I want to encourage you that's not always the best idea. Although it sounds good at a barbecue to say, yeah, I own multiple gyms, in reality, you can actually, in most cases, make more money from your existing site, and only when you're ready should you actually make that jump. How do you know that you're ready? You definitely want to remove yourself from the day-to-day runnings of the business. You don't want to be providing classes, selling memberships. You don't want to be doing any of that day-to-day stuff where you've got set appointments. It should be fully under management. You should have at least 100 grand of savings after all your expenses that you've stockpiled over the last few months. Running a gym and having a successful quarter is really common, but a lot of people go up and down. They lose a key staff member, another gym opens around the corner, and then all of a sudden that sort of, I'm feeling on a high and I'm ready to take on the world. All of a sudden they're actually under the pump and they're just trying to make ends meet again. So don't have one good quarter and go out sort of looking at other sites. In my opinion, have a great year. Add up like your 4 quarters worth of profit, stockpile some cash, get a manager in there and remove yourself. If you're personally still like heavily involved or doing any of the day-to-day stuff, you're not quite ready to open a second gym. In most cases, I would say 90% of the gyms that I speak to can actually double the profit in their existing business and actually don't need to go and open another gym. When I chat to them and I say, oh, it's a good goal, but tell me, why do you want to open a second gym? And in a lot of cases, it's because they want to make more money. They actually see an opportunity where they'd like to earn a little bit more money, helps them to buy a home, helps them to go on better holidays, put their kids in schools, and I get that. But it's interesting to see that the low risk and the easier option and the first step should always be looking to double the profit in your first business before trying to take on double the responsibility and the commitment and stuff like that. When you are ready to go, once you have leveraged out, once you've got a manager in place, once you've stockpiled some cash because you've done it not just for one quarter, but for an entire year, you might look at that second site. You give yourself plenty of time and you do like a 12-week pre-sale. You have a really key point of difference. I'll be honest, we don't really need any more gyms. So if you're going to do another one, it needs to be something that's a little bit different. Otherwise, it's actually going to be harder than your first gym, not easier. It's actually going to be harder because there's more gyms in the market opening this time than it was when you opened a couple of years ago. So I'm Steve from Gym Hub. I'm really passionate about helping gym owners. And I see that as a common mistake where we sometimes get a little bit ahead of ourselves. It's not that I'm against opening gyms. Some of my clients have multiple facilities and it can definitely work if you do it at the right time. My encouragement for you is make sure you've got the systems in place and you make sure you do it when you're ready rather than because a franchise or has kind of told you that so-and-so is going to take the territory next year, or rather than, just because it looks good on your business card that you've got multiple businesses, or when you're handing it out at a barbecue or something like that stuff, if I'm honest, is just ego sort of driven, and you want to do it for the right reasons when you're ready so that you can sort of avoid that high stress and that opportunity where potentially, like a worst case scenario, you've got 2 sites and you're not actually making any more money. You've just got more liability and more stress. I hope that helps. I'm interested in your feedback below. Thanks, guys.